Hey, what's going on? Charles Austin here, and let's be fit forever. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about sport-specific training, and specifically talking about volleyball. So I did do another video about sport-specific training, and I did one on basketball. And I was looking at my video library, and I said, you know what? I need to add some more videos to my sport specific training libraries, my playlist. So I'll start trying to do a few more of these for my athletes out there, for my parents of athletes, for my still want to be athlete. Oh, did I say that out loud? Anyway, but today I want to talk to you a little bit about some exercises that you can do. If you're, like I said, if you're a volleyballer, if you have a kid or child that's a volleyballer, some stuff that you can do to help improve your performance on the court immediately, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit today. But as always, before we jump in, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn your notifications on so that you're always up to date with the latest content here on the channel. We're always doing live streams here. I say we, I mean me, I mean I. I'm always doing streams here every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. I also pop up every now and again on the weekends. So look out for that. But hey, if you're not subscribed and you don't have those notifications on, how will you know? So you got to make sure you do that as soon as possible. So again, let's go ahead and jump on in real quick. Like I said, we're talking about some specific exercises that you can do if you're a volleyballer, if you play volleyball, and you want to say, hey, I need to get a little bit stronger. Maybe I need to get a little bit faster to help me with the skills and some of the things that you're going to be doing on the court. So real quick, I found a nice little article real quick that kind of highlighted some of the joints and the muscles that are involved in volleyball. Now, I know if you play volleyball, I'm sure that you are well aware of some of these areas. These are probably some common areas that may have been injured. Maybe some areas that you have already started training on, but hopefully we'll cover a couple of things that maybe you weren't thinking about. But I thought it was interesting. This article here started with the ankles, and obviously there's lots of movement, there's lots of agility involved in volleyball, lots of change in direction and cutting, so definitely ankles. So as it says here, your ankles are basically kind of like a connection of a few different things. What do you got going on there? You have like your calf muscle area, you have like some muscles in your feet, there's the specific ligaments that are in your ankle. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and ankle sprains are obviously one of the more common injuries in volleyball and lots of other sports as well. So definitely going to be using your ankles, and we'll give you there's going to be an exercise we'll talk about in just a second for that. Hips, definitely going to be using your hips. Again, a lot of that lateral agility. I'm going to show you all some GIFs here in a second to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about here. So hips definitely involved as well. All right. Also your knees, okay, because you're going to be doing lots of jumping, right? Lots of bending, especially if you're getting down, doing digs and things like that. Again, I'll show you all some gifts here in just a second, show you what I'm talking about. Shoulders and elbows, that kind of goes without saying. Definitely doing your serves, doing your setting, doing your spikes, things like that. Definitely goes without saying, and we'll get some exercises for that as well. Wrist as well, specifically, like I said, when we're talking about setting as well. So this is just a nice little list that kind of gave you some general ideas of some of the areas that you're going to be working specifically to volleyball. And of course, if you play volleyball, if you're new to it, or if you're a vet, these are going to be things that, for my vets, you're well aware of some of these areas. And if you're new, hey, maybe you're learning something, right? But I thought this was a nice little list to kind of give you an idea of some of the exercises that are involved. So what I did is I found some nice gifts to kind of highlight, some of them, obviously some of the more basic moves. Now, this is not going to be a volleyball tutorial or anything like that. But mainly we're focusing on exercises, different things you can do at home, or if you're in the gym during off season or even in season, to help you train up the muscles in the areas that are going to be used the most. So I thought I'd start out by showing some of the more basic moves here in volleyball, right? So here you got your basic jump serve, which is quite common in volleyball, whether it's male, female, whatever, right? So as you can see here, there's some forward movement here. There's some jumping going on here, and then obviously a lot of motion going on with your shoulders there as the ball is served, right? So you got some jumping, and you have some shoulder rotation here, and you also have a little bit, I wouldn't call it a sprint, but kind of a fast walk, if you will, or getting ready to kind of do a run as she gets ready to serve serve the ball. So that's one I wanted to show you real quick. And then also very similar to the serve, and here you just have a spike coming off a set here. So in this example, again, lots of jumping, a little bit of that forward motion, kind of like that light sprint kind of motion going forward, and obviously the rotation in the shoulder. So if you're thinking about this, you got jumping, you got shoulder rotation, and you have that forward motion as well. So some of the exercises that can help you if you're spiking, killing, and also serving, right? Well, obviously we're going to be working our quads, our glutes, our hamstrings for that jumping power. And here you can see a clear image, a clear little GIF there as well, showing you about jump squats. So jump squats is a great exercise to do in order to build up your jumping power, in order to give you more height on your serve, on your spikes and kills, right? So as far as some of the muscles that are targeted, as you can see here, your quadriceps, your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves. And one exercise or one area that's mentioned here on this particular page is your core. Now, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you've watched any of my videos where I'm talking about any types of exercises, my how-tos, I've done how-tos on push-ups and squats and different exercises, right? Any type of exercise that you do, any type of sport that you're playing, you're always going to need a strong core. Okay, and we're talking about our core, we're talking about our abs, our back, our lower back, our hips, right? So I'm not really going to focus on the core. Just keep in mind that if you are playing any type of sport, doing any type of exercise, your core strength is going to make everything better. So never neglect your core. But we're not going to talk about it today. We're going to be a little bit more specific on some of these moves. So again, we've been talking about spikes, kills, serves. All right. Lots of jumping, lots of forward motion, and lots of shoulder rotation, right? So definitely going to be working, want to work your muscles that help you with jumping power and jumping height. Okay, so we're talking squat jumps here, which are going to work your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves primarily, which are all involved in your vertical or even your forward jump, right? So again, box jumps target all the muscle groups in your lower body, glutes, hamstring, quads, calves, working to enhance power and strength. And that's the main thing that you're going to want to have if you're trying to get off the ground. Now, there's variations that you can do to this. You can add dumbbells. You can add plates. You can even add, the idea of having that volleyball being tossed, adding that rotation of that shoulder with those spikes and kills with the jump as well. But again, if we're just talking about a basic move, adding box jumps or starting to do box jumps would be a great exercise, right? We also have calf raises, right? So calf raises are another great exercise here as well. And this can help with your ankle strength, your ankle stability. It can also help, like I said, strengthen your calf muscle, right? And of course, your calf muscle is also involved in that forward motion when you're running up for the serve, if you're running up for the kill, because your calf muscles help you push off the ground, whether you're going forward and also going vertical. All right, so calf muscles are super important for volleyballers as well. So again, there's a couple of ways you can do these. And before we get there, real quick, training your calves are important because again, we're talking about running. Okay, we showed you the motion here. If we go back, there's that little bit of that running motion here as you're getting ready to do your serve, that running motion as you're getting ready to do your spike, right? So they're important for walking and running, and then also jumping. And again, another thing that's important here, as it says, it's important for moving your body during functional movements. So anytime you see that word functional and functional movements put together, they're basically talking about something that's applicable to like life, right? Or something that you're going to do. Specifically here, we're talking about volleyball. So there's going to be lots of functional movement, lots of different things you're going to be doing, and having conditioned, strong calves are going to help you out as well. So how do you do calf raise? It's very simple. One of the easiest things to do is make sure you have your heels kind of hanging off the edge. Let's see, did we have an image here of the calf raise? I don't think we did on this. Oh, yeah. So you want to have a little distance between the floor and the platform that you're on. So you can do regular standing calf raises, but you can also do explosive calf raises where you're adding a little bit more power and a little bit more pace to the exercise to work on that power as well. So calf raise is another exercise to make sure you have on your list to improve your performance in volleyball, right? And then also we want to talk about our shoulders. Again, lots of shoulder rotation with serves and kills and spikes, right? So as you can see in the image, he has the band anchored down to a support, and now you can start working that shoulder rotation motion, right? Because that rotator cuff is going to get a lot of work over and over again. So obviously you want to try to stay as balanced as possible, but obviously your dominant hand is going to be doing the primary work on serves and spikes and kills. So you want to make sure that you put a little extra effort on that side. But again, don't neglect your other side because you want to try to keep your body as balanced as possible. So working your shoulder rotation is perfect. Is a perfect exercise to add to your repertoire. And then also just general exercises to build up your shoulder strength. Okay. So we got, things like push presses. We have, what else do we have? We have regular dumbbell presses, just basically strengthening those shoulders. Again, and the good thing about dumbbell presses, you're going to be using both hands. You can keep everything nice and balanced, right? There was one, Arnold Press, yes. So Arnold Press is another good one as well because it does involve a little bit of rotation as well. So you're going to work those rotator cuffs a little bit as you're continuing to work your shoulders. So, and then also we have lateral raises, we have front raises. So any kind of exercise that can kind of just help, because there are different parts of your deltoids or your shoulder. If you're not familiar with the term deltoid, we're talking about the shoulders. There are different parts of your deltoids here. So you want to make sure that you're well-rounded and you're doing different types of exercises. So you don't want to just do only lateral raises or only shoulder presses or only the rotator cuff exercises. You want to have balance when you're focusing on strengthening your shoulders. So definitely focus on your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, and also your shoulders for those serves and those spikes, right? So another thing that's common in volleyball, obviously, is blocks, right? So if you're somebody who, is playing the position where you're going to be blocking a lot, you're going to be focused on, hey, I got to make sure that this person is not getting that ball over the net. As you can see in the image, I want you to kind of focus on these two right here from the beginning. And what we have here is some lateral agility, right? So you have some lateral agility, and then also you're going to be focusing on your jumping power, right? So we already kind of talked about, an exercise that you can do to focus on improving your jump strength and your jump power. So now I'm going to kind of focus on a couple of exercises that you can do to focus on the lateral agility portion, when it comes to blocking, right? So side shuffles are a great exercise to do to focus on your lateral agility. And it's as simple as getting down and kind of like that defensive stance, as you can kind of see in the image, and just kind of keeping the distance, about 5 feet or so, right? You don't want to have big wide differences a big wide distance between your cones, but about 5 feet or so, and you literally stay in that position. You keep your feet apart. You don't want your feet to touch. If your feet start touching, you're going to lessen the exercise's effectiveness. So keeping your feet apart, and you're just shuffling side to side as quickly as you can, keeping your eyes facing forward. I don't like the fact that she's kind of looking down there, but keeping your eyes facing forward, keeping your chest high, and you're going to keep that shuffle going. So this is a great exercise to work on your lateral agility, which is something you're definitely going to be need when you're trying to get to different parts of that net in order to get a good block. So this is a good exercise here. And the thing about lateral agility and side shuffles is you're going to be using your hips, your abductors and your adductor muscles. So there are some exercises that you can do to help strengthen your. Let me pull it up a little bit here. Strengthen your adductors, right? Now these are the muscles that are kind of like you're on the inside of your thigh. You may refer to them as like your groin muscles or something like that. And they're going to be used when you're doing lateral agility. So there are some exercises that you can add or start doing. And this one's, now I saw this exercise and I was like, okay, this one might be a little challenging to the novice exerciser. But hey, if you're somebody who's a little bit more conditioned, this might be something you might want to try out. As you can see, he's doing a plank, kind of a side plank with his foot elevated on a bench. And he's basically just bringing his foot up and down, kind of tapping up and down. So again, he's going to be working that inner thigh muscle, those adductors, excuse me, right? So another one that you can try to do, and I actually did this one before I turned my camera on today, and this one was kind of challenging. And immediately when I started doing this exercise, I started to feel my inner thigh start to tighten up. When you could tell you were obviously working the area that you were targeting. So this would be a side lying hip adduction. So again, another good exercise. And this stuff doesn't require any equipment. You don't have to be at a gym. You can add these exercises in at home, right? Again, also elevated on a bench here. Again, very, very similar, except now she's just on a bench. Same move, just elevated on a bench. Now these are cool. You can find things that you have at home, like if you have a book, like kind of a sturdy, heavy book. Maybe you have, maybe a dumbbell, something that you can find that you can hold between your knees. And this tension that you're going to have with your knees holding that piece, that book or whatever it is that you have, is going to help have an isometric contraction with your inner thighs. All right. And then also you're going to be training your hips and your glutes as well with those bridges. So that's a good exercise that you can add as well. You can do those as well with the single leg bridge. And then there's also some squats that you can do. When you start getting those wide stance squats, you're going to start working your glutes and thighs as well as your inner thighs, your adductor muscles. So these are some good exercises to add in to your training regimen to start working on your adductors a little bit more. And then last but not least, side lunges are another good one as well. So all good exercises to work on those adductors. And again, we're talking about that lateral agility, those hips, the inner and outer thighs to help. Okay. And then also, if we're talking about the other side here, we already went to the inner thigh. Some other good exercises that you could add to your training routine are, you got fire hydrants. And again, a lot of these can be done at home. You don't have to be at a gym. You don't need a lot of expensive equipment, right? So fire hydrants are a good one as well. If you have a cable or a band, like we saw in this image here, you can anchor bands to something stable. So here you could anchor that band down and start working your abductor muscles. So now we're focusing on the muscles that's on the outside of your thighs, right? Again, we got hip circles as well, another good exercise. And then side to side lunges. We got kickouts as well. And then more of those bridges again, that's going to help with your overall hip strength and your glutes as well. So, and then last but not least, you have your lying hip abduction. So all of these exercises here are primarily focusing on your hips, which is going to help with the strength when you're working with your lateral agility. Okay. And then last but not least, another common part of volleyball obviously is your digs. So digs are very unpredictable. You don't necessarily always know where the ball is going to go. So lots of times you may end up on the floor, as you can see here, and then also here ending up on your knees on the floor as well. So you never know where the ball may go on when you're trying to dig, right? So agility is going to be important. Explosiveness is going to be important. Power, reaction time, all of that stuff is going to be important. So burpees are a great exercise to kind of get your body in the habit of being able to get down on the ground quickly and get back up, right? Because who knows, as soon as you dig that ball, that you may have to get back up and chase it down again. So burpees would be a great exercise to help simulate some of that activity. Other exercises that can help with your digs, it's just basic squats. And I like this type of squat here where you can have some type of resistance in your head, over your head a little bit, just because you can train your ability to have your hands up, which is something that you'll be doing, obviously, if you're a volleyballer, right? But basic squats as well, any type of squat. Obviously, you can do jump squats. You can do regular barbell squats as well. But anything that's going to help with your general lower body strength, right? And the ability to get down and power yourself back up. Lunges as well. You can do walking lunges. You can do weighted lunges, right? Lunges are going to help strengthen your quads and your hams and your glutes, like many of the exercises that we talked about already. And then also, last but not least, this one's kind of like pick your poison. Again, one of the things that is digs are going to be unpredictable. So your explosive power, your reaction time, your speed, your agility is all going to be important. So again, this is kind of like pick your poison, right? So what I did is I found a quick little list of some quick little exercises that you can add to your routine. Plyo lunges are basically jump lunges where you're using lots of speed and power. There's lots of jumping involved, and it's good for your the speed and explosiveness of your lower body, right? We also have broad jumps where you're basically jumping forward as far as you can, using lots of power, lots of explosiveness, right? You also have speed skaters, right? Where you're getting that side-to-side motion with the jumping and the lateral motion. So also another good exercise you could do is literally you could connect yourself to a band and sprint, right? And any types of sprints and sprinting motions can help with your explosive power as well. So plenty of things that you can do for your explosion. So I encourage you, if you're interested in trying to get more explosive power, speed, pick your poison. Find things that work best for you. But these are just some suggestions that you could add to your repertoire immediately. So, all right. So again, for all of my basketballers out there, I did provide a link to my previous sport-specific training video for basketball. So also gave you some exercises there for all of my basketballers out there. So check that one out. But hey, maybe you're a basketballer and a volleyballer. Check both of those videos out to give you some general tips on some things that you can start doing to help improve your sport performance. And as always, you can go to fitnesscharles.com right now. And for my folks out there looking to maybe lose 10, 30 pounds, something like that, you can go to my Fit Forever family page right here. Internet is being funny. There we go. You go to my Fit Forever family page right there, where you can learn a little bit more about my 12-week transformation experience. You can book a free consultation with me. We'll go over the details, tell you exactly what's involved, how everything works. You can use this link right in here. Also on my homepage, you can go right here where you can click Get Started to learn a little bit more about 3 Times to Burn, how you can get signed up, tell you everything about it, which 3 Times to Burn is my 60-day on-demand fitness and nutrition program designed to help you lose weight and build strength and muscle, okay? So you can learn about that here. You can get signed up. It's very, very simple. And matter of fact, you can even go right here. Let's see. Let me show you this one real quick. You can even go right here. I'm going to show you my page, y'all, real quick. You can go right here. And you can literally go to my playlist where I have one on the 3 Times to Burn challenge. And on this one here, it has literally 10 days That's 2 whole weeks of workouts that you can try out for free just to see if you like it. So you can check that out. And then inside the descriptions of the videos, it gives you steps for getting signed up. Hey, if you love it, there's a nutrition plan. There's support and guidance from yours truly. So definitely check that out. All right. And then last but not least, I wouldn't be covering all of my bases if I didn't also mention the fact that, hey, you can go right here. You can click books. You can go to my page right here. You can check out the books that I've written, 85-15 diet plan, and then also the toilet book that you see right here, which is one of my faves right here. All right. As always, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, turn your notifications on so that you're up to date with the latest content. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fitness Charles. So you're up to date with all my content on there as well. So again, I will see y'all on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. We'll be jumping back into some chronic disease on Wednesday. So that is my specialty. So we'll be jumping back into some chronic disease discussion on Wednesday. So I'll see y'all Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. Don't be late. Make sure you subscribe. As always, be happy, be healthy, and please be fit.